Good morning, everybody.
Whoa!
You can do it. Do it.
Whoa! Come on, we're near
Yeah.
the end of the week.
I can't do it.
It's Diamondback sweep day.
I barely made it through the McCollum business this morning, man.
Good morning.
I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum. You're watching the main event, by the way. 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys is here. And, folks, he is beyond excited on Thursday to go over and do his hit on Holmberg's Morning Sickness in a little bit and get Uncle Lou in here at 9 o'clock as well. Dale Hellestray, everybody.
Number 70 in the program, number 1 in your heart. The eye candy of the show.
Are you going off of your number there? 'Cause you made it sound like you're really low ranked there.
Number 70. I'm number 70 in the program.
I know, but for people
But I'm
that
number
don't,
1 at Heartthrob.
but people that don't know that you're number 70.
Who doesn't know I'm
he
number
rank
70?
It? I know you do talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Nonstop, as a matter of fact. Oh my God, folks, you don't even know what I go through. I have nightmares about. I hate the number 70. How much you mentions it?
Now, Steve, I gotta tell you.
Yes, Dale.
I checked Twitter before I went to bed last night.
All right.
I didn't sleep a wink. I didn't sleep a wink. It wasn't because of the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, you were excited about the pitching
dominant
duel.
sweep.
The pitching duel that happened yesterday.
My goodness! And
Are you excited for today's Suns game
No.
against the Hornets? Is that the problem?
No.
I don't know what else is happening. Are you excited for the NFL draft 3 weeks from today?
No.
We're having a draft show, folks. We're going to do that announcement here next week.
Okay.
So we're going to have that coming up and working on the graphics and everything coming from a special location.
Ooh, undisclosed.
Well,
Yeah, undisclosed.
it needs to be undisclosed because it's
highfalutin.
Yeah, I haven't told John yet that we're inviting a bunch of people.
You better run that by him. But I saw on Twitter last night that old Steve-O ventured out amongst the unwashed.
I made a terrible mistake yesterday.
He does not usually hang out with the unwashed.
I went and took care of something I needed to take care of yesterday.
Okay.
Dale, not feeling great. You know, I'm pretty sure it's just allergies.
You and Nash sound exactly the
yesterday.
same.
My head was like just pounding. It was just pressure galore. I couldn't get it out or whatever. Me and Autumn went and got Sudafed last night, and I feel so much better today.
Okay.
I do. My head, it's still pounding, but it's not as bad. Once I take it, I feel better. But yesterday after the show, I didn't do pit stop yesterday. We're doing it today because I didn't feel right. My throat was hurting. My head was pounding. So I was like, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to go take care of some stuff I need to do. So I made a couple stops on the way home. Everything's fine. But I'm not talking a lot, because my throat, my voice and everything. So I'm not talking a lot. So I have to go and talk to Cox Communications. Because here at the studio, it's who we have internet with. And I signed up for it, and I got it. And they gave me a price. It was something like $85 or $89.
Okay.
Well, I'm getting text messages from Cox saying I owe them $200 and something.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's a little bit more than I was quoted. All right, cool. So yesterday I stopped by there on the way because you can't talk to anybody with Cox if you call or you go through the chat on their thing. You're getting people from another country with big old long names, and they never can help you. They just give you some BS thing, and they're like, I'll send you what you can do, and then you get this PDF basically with a middle finger on it. That's what you basically get.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I got to go back to the store. So Dale, I do my other stops. Everything's good. Stop by, saw my dad. My sister probably going to lambaste me for seeing my dad yesterday again on Facebook. I'll have to see
Hold
if that
on.
happens.
Was your car plugged in?
No. My car's fine.
Okay.
So my dad's working on one of the rental houses there. My
Okay.
dad's been working on it, so I just stopped by to check on him and see where we stand and stuff. So I went and saw him, and for a little bit, I made a couple other stops, and I stopped at the Cox store on the way home.
Okay.
And first of all, Dale, I did a good thing walking in. I'm going to tell you the whole story here because it's what I deserve, I guess, for being nice. So me and this nice older lady are going to the door at the same time. Dale, what would you do in that situation?
I would open the door.
I did. Even though I knew it would put me one person back in line, I said, you know what? I go, here you go, ma'am. And I opened the door and I said, you go right ahead. She goes, and she goes in and she like went to the thing where you sign in at. You have to punch in your name and stuff.
Yeah.
And she goes, you go ahead first because you were here first. And I go, no, I'm not in a hurry. You go right ahead. So she puts her info in.
That was nice of her.
It was, yeah, it was nice. It was nice. We were nice. But it screwed me in the long run because I got the a-hole of a-holes in customer service people in that store. And she got somebody else. She got somebody nicer.
She's walking out and saying, bye-bye, hey, thanks a lot.
She had problems too, but her problems wasn't necessarily with the person. It was just she was having problems with the company.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, this gets so great. So I sign in, and I go stand outside, and it's like, there's like 15 people in there, and I'm the youngest guy by like 20 years in there. It's just middle of the day. People are returning. They're obviously getting ready to go back home, so they're turning in their cock stuff.
That's right. I never thought about that.
There's a lot of people returning their stuff, obviously. Like, oh, they're getting ready to go to Minnesota or wherever they're from, Michigan, whatever. So we're just sitting in there, and I'm just standing off to the side. I'm looking at the Apple Watches, and I'm on my phone watching baseball and doing all that stuff, Dale. And I'm noticing that there's one guy in there, everybody else, because it's just an open space, with something. And this one guy in there is just doing the whole kind of rolling his eyes while he's helping somebody. And I'm vaguely.
Oh, one of the employees.
Employees.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
So no. So what? I'm not paying attention to him, but I notice him while I'm watching my phone. I can hear him doing that annoyed side, and I remember thinking, "Please don't let me get that guy." I remember distinctly going, "Please don't let me get that guy." So the guy, they both finish up. The two people finish up at the same time. Sure enough, the lady in front of me gets the other guy. Good old Nathan there at Cox.
Oh, name's coming.
Steve M. So I walk over to him. He goes, how you doing today? I go, I'm doing good. He goes, what can I do for you? So I go, hey, man, I signed up here, my second account, because my home house is with Cox. And I go, I have a second account. I was quoted a different price. You guys are trying to charge me more. I go, we just need to get this fixed. But I'm talking quietly because my voice is all sore.
Right.
And everything, and I'm trying to say as few words as possible. And he goes, so he looks it up. He goes, he literally goes, do you know your PIN number? Like all crappy. So I give him my PIN number. And he goes, okay. He goes, yep, you have unlimited. You're being charged for unlimited data, and your rate's $199. I go, okay. I said, one, I don't need unlimited data. I go, how much does that cost? And he goes, $50. So he's like kind of crappy towards me,
Right.
And I go, well, I was quoted like 85, 89. I don't remember which it was, but it was in that $80 range is when the guy signed me back up. And I go, he did it right over there at that desk. Like a month ago. And he goes, nope. He goes, $199 is what it is. He goes, let me look. He's all, best I can do is $100. And I go, okay, that's the best you can do. And he goes, yes. I go, okay. So I was quoted a lower price. So who do I need to talk to about this? And that's when he got really crappy. He goes, well, you can sign back in and somebody else here can help you. I just take my glasses off, wipe them off with my shirt, put it back on. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm going, let's dance. And I just casually go, are you the head boss here? And he goes, no. I go, I would think that would be who I'm asking for. I go, is there any way I can talk to somebody else about this? I go, because I was quoted a lower price. If $100, and then he goes, well, I can give you $70 a month, but you have to get mobile with us. And I go, well, that's not going to happen. I go, let's just shut down the sales side of things. I'm not signing up for anything else with you guys and stuff like that. I go, especially when you guys aren't getting this right. I'm not going to sign up for more services with you.
Right.
But I'm just talking to him. And I go, who else would I talk to? And he goes, there's nobody else to talk to. But he said it like really crappy. And I go, I said something to the effect, I don't understand why you're giving me attitude. And he goes, I'm just matching what I'm getting.
Oh, Steve-O.
And I go, you think I'm giving you attitude? And in my mind, I'm ready to just be like, you want to see attitude, Tiger? You're going to see attitude, Nathan. But I go, oh, you think I'm giving you attitude? And he's like, well, let me go see if I can get somebody. Dale, he walks off. As he's walking off, he rolls his eyes. He goes, and he walks off to the back. And I'm just watching him walk off like a pestilent child, stomping his feet even. And he gets to the back there. And I turn around, and people all over this place were just staring at me. And I go, hey, guys, just a heads up. Y'all don't want Nathan. He's having a little bit of a day right now. That's it. Everybody can hear me. And the lady that was in front of me goes, my guy is too. And her guy is in the back also talking about something.
They're both in the back there talking about you guys.
So me and the lady are like bonding now. And everybody can hear us bonding. So then I'm there for like 5 minutes. And then Nathan comes back out. And he goes, go sit down and somebody will be out with you in a minute. So I just turn around and I start walking. And I hear him go. So I stopped. I was like 5 feet. I stopped. I turned around and I go, why don't you sigh one more time, Tiger? And he goes, what? And I go, just walk off and sigh again one more time. I want to hear it. And he does it again. I turn around and walk and he does it again. I turn back around and I go, do it one more time, buddy. One more time. Do that sigh one more time. Dale, he perked up. And I just sat down. I sat down and that MFer Nathan sighed again. Just loud enough that I could hear him do it. So I'm sitting in the chair, and the old lady walks over because I'm sitting by her and she walks over to me, this lady. And she goes, oh no, so when I was talking to the lady standing at the table, I go, ma'am, just take a deep breath. I go, you can always change service, but get through this and just take a deep breath. We can change service afterwards. So I'm all talking, like having fun with her. So I sit down and the lady walks over to me because I'm right next to her desk. She goes, are you having problems with your mobile service? And I go, no, they're overcharging me from what they quoted me. So she starts telling me her problem. And she's right next to me. Her guy comes out and says to her, interrupts our conversation, by the way, rudely. And then says, so this is her guy, and says, ma'am, we texted you. So you gotta click on the text and do all this. She's trying to unlock her phone so she can switch services. And she can't port her number to the new service with that. So she's standing there and she's like really rude with the guy. She goes, I'm doing it right now, sir. And she's like pressing the buttons. And the guy just casually goes, because she noticed he's talking to me. And the guy casually goes, ma'am, it'll be a little easier if you step back over to the table. So now I'm sitting there going, is he pulling her away from me so I don't corrupt her? Or is he pulling her away from me because he doesn't think I want to be annoyed by this lady? I didn't care if she was standing there. So now I'm like thinking that, whatever. So I'm chatting with, the guy from India with a lot of vowels in his name. Thank God I didn't have to say it. And I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying that's who you're dealing with. So I'm chatting with that guy like, hey, regional manager I can speak to about, being charged the wrong price, blah, blah, blah. So I'm chatting with that guy. And 10 minutes later, this guy comes out with his laptop. And he walks over to my buddy Nathan. And I hear Nathan goes, he's sitting in the chair over there. In the corner of my eye, because I'm facing away from him. And in the corner of my eye, I can see Nathan point to me, and he says it all just crappy. He's over there in that chair. And I'm like, all right, go time. And the whole time I'm just going, I just wanted a better internet price. That's all I wanted when I walked in here. And now I'm being lambasted. I'm inconveniencing Nathan over here. Forget about the fact that I'm being inconvenienced and have to be in here with your unshowered fat self. Forget about that, Nathan. But I'm acting like an adult in here. So the guy comes over and he like sits down at a table. And I go, you want to have this conversation out here where other people can hear what I have to say? Or would you rather do it in a more private place? And he goes, here's fine. I'm like, okay. So all of a sudden my voice is normal again. Because I'm like, all right. I go, two things. One, we need to talk about my account. He goes, I have it pulled up. I go, second thing we need to talk about is Nathan's attitude over here. So I told him everything that happened. And I go, it wasn't just me, though. It was the person before me he was doing this to as well. But while I was sitting there, Dale, before this guy came out, Nathan helped 3 people, and he was the nicest person to those 3 people. He's laughing with them. He's wishing them a great day. He's joking around with them like he's their best friend all of a sudden. I, with my comment about sighing one more time, knocked some professionalism into Nathan. Because all of a sudden, he's the guy that he should have been the whole time. So I'm telling the manager everything that happened. And I go, and at the end, I go, you know what? I go, it's not all negative, though. I will give Nathan some props here. I go, ever since he had the attitude before he talked to me, and then the attitude with me, I go, he has been the utmost professional customer service guy for the last 3 people he has helped over there. So while this guy is helping me, he's all doing his stuff. And guess what, folks? This is the most infuriating part. Because look, if you don't know, when you go to cancel something, they have a retention department where they can just cut the price down and give you a lower price. That's why I wanted to speak to somebody else. You quoted me 85. I'm fine with the 100. But this guy's giving me attitude, so let's play the game. That's what my attitude was. So we go through it. Dale, I walked out of there at $85 a month now. Without a question. The guy's like, we got a retention rate of $85. Here you go. It's good for a year. Have a good day. That's okay. Why did I have to go through all this and be abused by Nathan over there? When I got it, I was fine with the $100 price. But this guy's giving me attitude. You guys could have got $100 from me a month. But because of this dude's attitude, and now I'm getting 85 and everything. But we're sitting there, and while he's typing, Nathan's helping a couple other people. Yeah, I think he got a couple jokes in. And I'm just sitting there listening to him going, this MFer, he's like the nicest guy on the planet all of a sudden, out of nowhere. So at the end, the guy gets it, and he's like trying to sell me on mobile. It was pretty funny. I'm like, look, man, I go, I'm not moving my mobile to God. I go, I pay way too much for AT&T, but I'm not moving. I appreciate it, though. And like, it was really good conversation. And at the end, he goes, hey, just so you know, he goes, I'll talk to Nathan. I'll talk to him. And I go, I just wanted to let you know. I said, your business, whatever. I go, we just don't need, we're in here either because we want service or we need something solved. We don't, I don't need this attitude in here. And none of your customers need the attitude that we're inconveniencing him for some reason. I go, so I just wanted to make you aware of it. And I go, but don't forget, he's been really good with everybody since me. I've been impressed with him over there since then. He goes, I appreciate you saying that. And I'm just like walking out going, why did I just go through this? And I got exactly what I wanted in the first place. It's infuriating, Dale. Infuriating. So tell me how this is my fault. I want to hear how you're going to turn this into my fault.
Well, the first thing that jumped to my mind that you just glossed over and had no explanation for, because I've heard you say this. You match energy.
Yeah, I know. Autumn pointed this out too.
And you said that he told you, I'm just matching your energy.
You know what the difference is, though? I was not giving him an attitude.
Well, maybe you didn't know you were.
Nope, I was not giving him an attitude. He took me being quiet. He took me saying that price isn't acceptable. How do we get that price down? He took that as me challenging him and his manhood or something. That's a him problem, not a me problem. I was not rude. I did not raise my voice at that point in the time. Not at all. I was actually shocked. That's why I replied with, you think I'm giving you attitude? Because in my mind, I'm going, oh, you're about the attitude, Tiger. I'll make you cry here at work. You'll be snot bubbles coming out of your nose. I'm going to be so fired up. That's what I'm thinking.
And maybe that was coming out.
Yeah,
maybe you were effusive in your energy.
He was not. I even paused for a second and wiped my glasses off to make sure my next response wasn't going to be something snotty or unprofessional. I'm just like, I need to speak to somebody else. We could sign in. You could sign in over there, and somebody else can help you. And I'm just like, what are we doing here, Tiger? What are we doing here? But it also told me Nathan has an attitude problem because, one, he cleared it up when he got called out for it. And two, he had to go tell his boss what my problem was. And then he got really nice to everybody else, which tells me he's been talked to about his attitude before. Just, dude, I don't care. I have a crappy day. I get it. But solve my problem so I can move on with my life, you clown.
If it's a solvable problem.
It was.
Yes.
It was.
It evidently was.
I know Nathan can't go to the retention thing and get me a lower price. Okay, so who do I need to talk to about this? And he didn't want to have anything to do with it. Stupid. I hate gatekeepers, man. It annoys the crap out of me. I'm the highest ranking person here. No, you're not, Nathan. You're a lower tier customer service person. Stop acting like you're somebody.
See, that's probably the energy you walked up on. All right. I'm talking to you, young, middling.
No, I told him if that was the case, I wouldn't even have asked. I would have asked for a manager right off the bat to get to that point. But he's all, we go off of address on pricing and all of this stuff. And I go, okay. I'll just. At one point, he gave me an address. I don't remember what he said, and I go, I can just change my service to somebody else. He goes, okay. But when I say I'm canceling, your retention line is going to do 900 things to try to keep me, Tiger. So why don't we just go through that process?
Did you ever actually call him Tiger?
I did call him Tiger.
Oh, see, that's attitude.
No, that was after the attitude had already been set up. I was starting to flash my attitude back to him at that point. After Dale, see, you're like everybody else. You think I start this stuff?
Yeah.
I was relaxed. Here's the thing, Dale. I walked into there knowing how this was going to go.
See, you walked in with an attitude.
I knew standing there watching him have an attitude with the other person in front of me. I knew I was going to get Nathan, and we're gonna butt heads a little bit. I knew it was coming. I'm literally, when he called my name, I was like, "Cool, let's see what we can do here." And it was just attitude city. What kind of grown man in a professional job rolls his eyes at his customers and does a big sigh? I guess I'll go get him. Child. Absolute child. Even if I was giving you attitude, stop acting like you're a 12-year-old kid. I got one of those at home, Tiger. I don't need it from you.
Boy, Tiger.
Yeah, when you hear Tiger come out of my mouth,
yeah.
I'm annoyed with you.
So my one question, and then we can move on. What is your sweet girl Autumn say?
Autumn made fun of the fact that he said, "I'm just matching what I'm giving."
Yeah.
He made fun of that too. That's what I say. I'm matching.
Yeah, you say that.
Yeah, but I say that. I say that to tell you guys that guy was giving me crap, and I gave it right back to him.
So that's what this guy was doing.
No. Except I wasn't giving him an attitude. So I walked into this place, got treated like I was a 12-year-old kid in an inconvenience, and I walked out with what they told me they would give me when I signed up a month ago. But I got heartache and attitude in the middle of it. Why don't we just start with the give me what I'm there for, what you told me you would do in the first place? Why don't we just skip to that? Why do we need the other crap in the middle? No, I walked out. Dale, I could have been petty. When I got that $85 a month and I was walking out, he didn't have anybody at his table, I could have stopped and be like, "Sigh again, MFer." Use the word. I got what I asked for when I came in here. Give him 2 middle fingers and walked out. But you know what I didn't, Dale? I just walked out with a big old smile on my face. I don't get it, man. I just had a question, and the world ended for this guy. You don't understand how bad I feel, Dale. I couldn't sleep last night. I ruined Nathan's day by going in there to ask why I'm being charged 3 times the amount I was quoted. And for some reason, I ruined Nathan's day by doing that. So if that's the problem, you know what, Nathan, I apologize that your company screwed up and your life sucks and you have to deal with it. I knew you were going to find a way to blame me. You guys always do that.
No, I just call it as I see it.
I did not. I'm telling you, Dale, I knew I was prepared. I was in the mindset of...
You were ready to challenge somebody.
No. I went in there with the mindset of, you know how this is going to go. Just take deep breaths, get through it, and then after... No, because I had already made up my mind. If they're going to charge me the $199 plus the $50 fee and stuff like that, then I'm just going to... I'll pay it. I'll walk out, and I will call another internet company to come set up internet. All you do. Why would I argue about internet pricing with people? You don't want my business? Fine. There's another company that'll take it. You don't beg people to take your money. That's how I know I didn't have an attitude at the beginning. Because what's the worst case? I have to pay an overpriced bill, and I change my home internet and this internet here to something else. What does that matter to me? Why would I care if I have to do that? Cox isn't the all-knowing gods where they're the only company in town. So I didn't have an attitude, Dale. I'm just telling you, I didn't. Robert says, I think we need to have something similar to On Patrol Live and have a camera crew following Big Steve during his day. Would be highly entertaining.
Wouldn't that be something special?
I'm telling you guys would enjoy it. But it's the first time, in a long time where I've been like out in public where I've had to do something like that, and it just goes south on the spot. Just goes south. It's like the other day at McDonald's, man. I just wanted to get my breakfast, man. I just wanted to get my breakfast. And I had some guy yelling at me. I'm at the wrong window, even though if I moved up, we'd still be sitting in the same spot. Didn't matter, buddy.
You do get some unique situations.
Should we blame the heat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I just happened, and it's just like, what is happening right now? But the good news is that lady got what she wanted. They solved her problem. I got the bill lowered. I even told the guy, this is how fair I am. The guy, he goes, I got you an $85 retention fee. And I go, how long's it for? He goes, it'll go up afterwards. If it's like a month, I don't want it. Because then it goes up to an astronomical amount.
Right.
So he goes, let me look here. And he goes, oh, it's a year. And I go, sign me up for it. I go, as long as you're okay with it. Because I'm fine with the $100 rate. I'm fine with the $100 rate if that's what the price is. I'm fine with that. It's just, can we get it put onto this bill where you guys are trying to charge me too? And he goes, I can take care of you on that. He goes, and I'm giving you the $85 rate. I'm like, thank you, man. Appreciate you very much.
See, I do think you have it in you. I just don't think that's your natural bent.
No, why was I so fine with the manager?
Because you checked your attitude.
I did not check. I
even
had more of an attitude. I was more annoyed when the manager came out.
No, because you're sitting there, you're casting all aspersions at Nathan. Poor Nathan.
Dale, you're lucky you're out of here today.
Poor Nathan's hot dogs.
Nathan likes his hot dogs. Let me just put it that way.
Oh, no. You are too much.
Well, you walked right into that one.
No, I don't know what he looks like.
Hey, he's a chubby little dude. Chubby little guy.
Oh, Steve.
So that was my story yesterday, folks. What happened to Steve? I literally walked out like laughing, like, did this really just happen to me right now? And the most infuriating part, Dale, is I walked out with a better deal than I thought I was going to get walking in.
All you need to do is throw some chairs and...
All you got to do is get Nathan's a-holeness. So I do have to thank Nathan. One, he did get better with customers after I kind of called him out on it.
Okay.
I firmly believe me calling him out on it checked him to where he was like, all right, I got to knock this off. Now, it could be his boss was coming out, and he realized it. It could be a lot of things. But, man, it was amazing change there. Oh, my God. The next guy had a problem. He's like, oh, I'd love to help you with that.
That guy probably approached him with not negative energy.
It was beautiful. Beautiful. Dale, I'm at the Apple Watches watching him have an attitude with somebody else. And I'm like, here we go. I'm getting that dude today.
At the Apple Watches.
I was looking at the Apple Watches. I'm gonna get an Apple Watch, I think.
They have Apple Watches in the Cox store?
Yeah, they're merging or being bought out by Spectrum, so they're
Really?
getting more of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to have a mobile number because I was asking the guy. You gotta have a mobile number with it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. But like, yeah, it's just folks, I get it. It's hot out there. The economy sucks. All of that stuff. Just take a deep breath, man. We're all in this together. And look, I get it. Internet's a big thing to Nathan, apparently. That's his world. It's not mine. Just give me a reasonable price so we can do what we do here, Dale. And I can not cut your pay because of the Cox internet. That's the thing. Nathan almost cost you pay. Because if I would have had to pay that $199 rate, I would have had to knock your pay down. So you should be thanking Nathan right now for his attitude. Because if he didn't give me attitude and I didn't talk to the manager, you would have a pay cut today because I couldn't afford both of you.
Actually, I'm thinking
It would
that
be
if
the
you
Steve
treated
McCollum show
Nathan nicely, you might have gotten a better deal.
Oh, no. He was the best I can do for you. All right. Well, who else can I talk to about this then? Put your name in. Somebody else will come back out.
How come when you reenact this, you have Nathan sound like he's the Wicked Witch of the West and you're the sweet little Dorothy?
Dale, I was nice yesterday. I know you don't believe me, but folks, I was nice yesterday.
But just the way you reenact it, you walk up and, hi, Nathan. I'm just wondering.
That's how I was yesterday.
Is there any possible way that
That's what I didn't say possible. I go, hey, man. I have an account I set up about a month ago, and you guys are way overcharging me. But that's how he phrased it. That's what I wanted.
Mean, stern, looking for a fight.
No, I wanted something. I was being super nice at that point in time. Whatever. Grumpy Nathan
I'm glad you got what you needed. You gave us some entertainment, and I don't get to talk any sports today. And we'll pick up.
You
tomorrow.
came in just to hear that story.
Well, that's it. I said, you know what? Steve doesn't tell short stories.
Because short stories don't happen to me. Folks, I was there long enough that I missed 4 innings of Diamondbacks baseball yesterday.
And those were fast innings.
That's how long I was in there. They had the Yankees game or Mets game on or something.
Is that not amazing?
Oh no, they had the Baltimore game on because I saw the ABS deciding game there, where the ABS ended the game, the review. What were you gonna say?
Well, it's amazing that they would have an out of town game on.
Yeah, I know.
My brother and I were at Zips the other night.
Well,
and the Diamondbacks game was on a couple small TVs, and the main one was somebody.
Yeah, they had like this big setup because they want you to buy their TV service. Yeah, it was the Baltimore. Cause that's how I saw the ABS. They reviewed the play and it ended up being a strike, and the game ended on an ABS call. That's how I watched that at the Cox store. Yeah, the Diamondbacks game was on. Yeah. Stupid, isn't it? That's another reason to avoid Cox. I actually don't have a problem with Cox. I've always had good luck with them. Dale, get over here. Get out of here. Go to your boy Puka's in rehab. You going to go visit him?
Him and Tiger, same place?
2 different rehabs.
Oh, okay.
One's a holistic medicine place. I don't even know what that means.
Oh.
Good news for Arizona fans. Kansas is not open right now as well. D-backs 3-3. I love the pitching duel yesterday. I'll talk about that here coming up while we wait for Lou to come in as well. Shocker of shockers. Matt Ishbia went to Tom Izzo and asked him to coach your Phoenix Suns last year. He said so on Dan Patrick yesterday. Got that as well. Come on back, folks. Dale's going to go have fun with the other Dobsonite that has dumb things happen to him when he talks about it. Maybe it's from Dobson. I think we just noticed. I think we just noticed things. That's the difference.
You're both bald.
Come on back, folks. Why do you throw that out there? And we're back here. The troublemaker, Steve McCollum, apparently is what we're going to call ourselves. I alluded to this. Of course, Lou's coming up here today. We'll talk hockey. We're one short week away from playoffs starting for the NHL. Of course, college baseball's going on. UFC fights. Had a brutal knockout last week in the women's division last week. We'll get all that with Lou. Of course, look ahead to this weekend as well with him coming up. But I talked to, Suns get underway tonight. Hornets, it's who they're facing tonight. Brooks is back. We'll have to see on Goodwin, right? Went out limping in this game. I think it was Goodwin, right? That went out in the last game. We'll have to get an update on him going into these playoffs as well, as he fell and bruised that if he plays tonight. All of that. Dylan Brooks, as he gets integrated back into this team. That's tonight. But then yesterday, Tom Izzo, Michigan State coach, sitting there talking, and it goes on the Dan Patrick Show yesterday. Just talking about the Phoenix Suns, his relationship with Matt Ishbia. I don't know, we shouldn't be surprised by this, but for some reason I am. One, why did it take this long to come out, kind of a situation? Dan Patrick Show yesterday. Here's what Izzo and Dan Patrick were talking about regarding your Phoenix Suns coaching search over the weekend.
He did talk about having a conversation with you when he was thinking about going to the Lakers because you were thinking about going to the Cavaliers. What was the advice that you gave him at that time?
Well, I didn't want to lose him in college basketball because I think he's so good for it. But I did say we got to keep an eye on what's happening in our profession too. And I don't know what I'd do if it was today. Like he had the chance about a year or two ago. And I think things are so crazy in college athletics right now. I don't know if I'd feel different if I was to be very honest with you, because I think something has to be done with the insanity we're going through. But I don't think anybody else cares. So I'll just keep plucking along and see if I can get to a Final Four again.
Well, let's say that opportunity came up given these circumstances with the Cavaliers. And, I don't know how old you were at the time, but.
Well, I was a lot younger, but I've had more than a couple job offers in the NBA and looked at one last year with Phoenix, and my former player, Matt Ishbia. And that was hard. That was a hard thing to turn down because, number one, I kind of wanted to go with him. Number two,
so they offered you the head coaching job?
Well, we talked seriously about it. Let's say that. And then number two is, I've been pretty vocal about it. I don't like what's going on in college athletics. But by the way, neither do 99.8% of the football and basketball coaches in America. And I think the kids are going to still find out before it's done. It's not best for them either. But in the meantime, you got to do what you got to do. And I'll let guys like you call me old school, but that means you're old school too. And I think we're both right school. So we'll see what happens.
Even Dan Patrick was like, wait, what? The Suns offered you the job? Fascinating, isn't it? How that just comes out now. How much of a discussion was there, I guess, is kind of the question mark. But, man, could you imagine how things would be different today if Izzo was the head coach of the Phoenix Suns and not Jordan Ott there as well? Make no mistake about it. Ishbia would have hired Izzo in 2 seconds over anybody else. Michigan State, as you said, former player, held in high regard. They both hold each other into high regard and things to that effect there. But I don't know. I can't figure out. I'm shocked by this. I don't think we should be shocked by it as well there, coming into it. I don't remember any discussion. I know there was a few people that kind of said, Izzo should be looked at because of the relationship. I don't remember there being any conversations or any hints that there was actual big conversations going on behind the scenes. So I don't know. Just a little nugget there that kind of shocked me, but shouldn't shock me as of yesterday as well. Again, Hornets tonight, 4 p.m. for the Suns. See how Dylan Brooks gets back into there. How's Goodwin feeling, going into this game as well for the Suns. After tonight, Suns are off until Sunday. By the way, including tonight, 6 games remaining. After tonight, 5. They're off until Sunday where they face the Bulls there in Chicago on Sunday. So a little bit of a rest period here for the Suns a couple days as well after tonight in the Hornets coming the Suns' way. I don't have the graphic for you here, but the Suns right now, they're in that battle. I'll not say battle. They're trying to stave off the Clippers, which I think they're going to do there as well. They're still 3 games ahead of the Clippers right now. The Clippers and the Trailblazers. Trailblazers are half a game still behind the Clippers also from their perspective going into tonight's games around the NBA. Other news that happened over the weekend, or we found out about today, but it's happened beforehand. Yeah, Puka Nacua. We and Dale have talked about him a lot with his, let's say, issues he's having off the field here in the last 4 or 5 months. Right, he was on that podcast and said some things that people dogged him for and said he shouldn't have said. He had to apologize for that. Several series of off-field allegations against Puka Nacua here. He was sued by a woman earlier this month after that anti-Semitic comment and biting allegation as well. Well, his lawyer came out and said that he voluntarily entered a holistic care facility, and that's where he's at now. So he's basically in a rehab facility that he's looking at now. And he voluntarily entered it as well, going into this statement. So the attorney came out and said that let me get the exact phrasing here as well. I apologize for my delay here in finding it as well. But he said he's in a treatment and a holistic care facility prior to the March filing of the lawsuit here by the lady that's accusing him of that stuff. But the lawyer did acknowledge that the combination of stories y'all have run is certainly a contributing factor for him checking himself into this holistic care facility as well. So, so a skeptic would say he's checking himself in to kind of show, hey, I'm adjusting these things you guys are hearing about me. I'm trying to become a better person. Not that he's trying to escape responsibility if they're true, but also public perception, right? That he's trying to get. So a skeptic would say that side of it. A holistic facility, from what I understand what it is, I tried looking it up. It's not a rehab place in terms of drugs or alcohol like Tiger's going into. It's not that at all. A holistic facility is more of like get your mind right, get you learn not to do the things you've been doing that hurt you because you're a public figure type of stuff as well. Kind of what those holistic places are more like as well. So, and I told you before my thoughts on this. Guys like Puka, he came up in college. Nobody knew who he was. Wasn't a big name guy. Didn't have a lot of eyeballs on him. And then boom, overnight, sensation in the NFL. Everybody wants a piece of Puka Nacua. Men, women, agents, other people all want, want a piece of Puka Nacua. All of a sudden, you get all this attention. And I'm not going to say you're acting out, but you don't always know how to handle that attention when you get into it. You got to learn how to handle that attention and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe that's all that's going on to him. I don't think he's a bad dude overall. I don't know it for a fact. I've never met him. But I think he needs to figure out and protect himself, right, with the eyes of the world on him and the attention that he's getting and things to that effect. So maybe that's what he's getting help for there as well. So Puka is there. We're 3 weeks away from the NFL draft. We will have a draft show coming up for you on that Thursday night in the first round. Of course, right now, Cardinals drafting in that 3rd spot. We're going to do it here in our studio. Well, we got another offer here. We're going to do a kind of a remote deal. But we're going to be joined. We have some special guests joining us for the draft as well. It's me and Bruce Cooper. Dale's going to come on and join us as well. And a couple other special guests we'll be announcing here coming up as well. So it'll be free, of course. It'll definitely be streamed on YouTube to let you know. I don't know if it'll be streamed at any other sites yet. We're still working out those details. But it'll definitely be streamed live on YouTube here as we talk just who's drafted and what it means, especially on the Cardinals. Do the Cardinals trade back up into the first round later in the draft as well? Something we'll be watching during that with Bruce Cooper joining us. Like I said, another special guest joining us. And and everything. So it's going to be a fun time. So make plans on the first night of the NBA draft or NFL draft. If you're watching it anyway, well, you can tune into us as well as we make our comments and with thoughts here on the draft process coming up 3 weeks from today. The Kansas college basketball position is not available after all. The Bill Self has decided he is going to return for his 24th season with the Kansas Jayhawks. Folks, that's an unbelievable amount of time for him to return to Kansas as well, which takes a little bit. Now, a lot of the talk around Tommy Lloyd has been the North Carolina job. Kansas, because it wasn't open yet. And it was rumored to become open. We brought it up, stuff like that. But now that it's officially not there, I do think that's good for Arizona fans. You can maybe take a big sigh of relief here. Because I do not believe Tommy Lloyd is North Carolina's first choice. There's 2 other coaches that I think North Carolina wants more than him. Which I told you all along. I think Tommy Lloyd is negotiating with Arizona, not North Carolina right now, meaning everything he's saying, it's telling Arizona they need to pony up. He's giving that lingering thought of, hey, I could leave. Come to me with your best deal. So that's happening out there as well. Then, of course, Diamondbacks won yesterday. We got what I wanted, because I've been telling you all along. What happens when the playoffs come? 9th inning, guy on third. Let's just do simple. Guy on third base, batter up, down by 1 run. Let's just say 7th inning or 7th game of the World Series or 7th game of the second round. Doesn't matter when it is. 9th inning, team down by 1 run. They have the tying run at third base. Go ahead run at second base. 3-2 count. Pitch comes in. Umpire calls it a ball. Walks him to first base. 2 outs. Walks him to first base. Bloop. Challenge. And the ABS system determines your World Series leader because it's determined that's a strike. That's a strikeout. Strike 3, second and third base, and it's determined by the computer. That's a real-life scenario that can come here in the playoffs starting this year. Big moment games. You can extrapolate it to not that big of a moment. A team down 1 run. They need to win a game to make the playoffs last day of the season. ABS makes the call. They lose out. They don't make the playoffs because of an ABS call on a borderline ball, no less. A ball that's 0.1 off of the plate or on the plate for that strike to cost them the run. You can go the other way and say the run rolls in, right, and wins the game. And it's 0.1 off the thing. And it's determined by a computer in the slightest margins. Well, yesterday we don't get that type of a drama. But we did get a game decided by the ABS system yesterday. I was sitting at the Cox store dealing with my buddy Nathan, and I was watching this game, and we got it yesterday. Orioles game yesterday. Here we go. ABS decider yesterday, folks. How game ends.
Like that.
Look at that
Messiah's
pitch. Calls
got
it a ball.
Challenge. Yep. Well, why not? We have not seen a challenge in the game yet. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Messiah for the win. Yes!
Look how close that ball is.
The first ever ABS challenge
Win
to
the
end
game.
the game here at Oriole
Right there.
Park. And a close.
This is a regular season game. Imagine that happening in the playoffs. But now that one did catch the entire strike zone. That wasn't. I understand why he called it a ball. But I also, I'm not too worried about it. But if it's like I said, if it's closer, you've seen some calls overturned where it is the ball, the seams are hitting that corner and it's considered a strike and they have to redo it. 0.1, like I said, 0.1 on the plate or 0.1 off the plate. Imagine that coming on that side. It's going to be fascinating to watch how it's handled here coming up in Major League Baseball as well as we get into high-profile games later on the season as well. We're coming up on Lou here, coming up and joining us here at the top of the hour. But Diamondbacks get the win last night, folks. Our first pitching duel that happened overall here between these guys. I thought this was fantastic ball game yesterday. Zach Gallen going toe-to-toe with the 2-time AL Cy Young winner, a guy from the Valley. He had family here in town watching this game yesterday. Huge. He sold a bunch of tickets from what I was reading. Of course, we're talking about Skubal. One of the best pitchers in the game, if not the best pitcher in the AL, definitely top 2 or 3. And the whole game as well. 2-time AL champion. Goes 7 innings. Only run he gives up is that first inning home run. Other than that, just lights out. Nobody can touch him the rest of the day. Then you got Zach Gallen on the other side. Goes 6 innings of no-run baseball on Zach Gallen's side. Goes toe-to-toe with a 2-time Cy Young winner there and Skubal on that Detroit Lions side. Day game, trying to sweep the series on top of it and everything. Lou was there. I did see the post from Lou saying he was there as well. We'll ask Lou about that coming up. This was an unbelievable pitching battle. I know a lot of you guys like the 10-7 ball games. I'll take a pitching battle between 2 starters till the 6th or 7th inning every day of the week myself. It was fantastic. Then the big story here on the Diamondbacks on top of it, right? 3 pitchers come in to close out this game. Clark comes in. No hits for him on that side. 2 strikeouts. Gets through his 1 inning. He's got a 15.43 ERA, folks. He came in and held the Tigers to no runs at all to keep it a 1-0 game. Murillo comes in at that point. 1 strikeout for him. His 6 ERA so far this season goes into this game, goes offers the Tigers, keeps it a 1-0 ball game here as well. Oh, excuse me, hiccups here. Then the guy that I affectionately call Lasagna, because I love the name, I love everything about it, and it makes me hungry for lasagna. He comes in the game, does give up 2 hits in his side, but of course gets out of it as well, keeps his 0 ERA there as well. 3 pitchers come in the bullpen, 3 no-hitters, 3 no-hits in those 3 innings. 1-0 win for the Diamondbacks yesterday as well. Fantastic outing by the Diamondbacks. Now you can look at it, right? Fernandez, after his 2 home run hit in his debut, goes 0 for yesterday. Well, folks, he was going up against 2-time Cy Young winner and that stuff. Who's going to argue? I saw a couple people go, kind of a letdown on his second day. Come on, folks. He's a rookie, 21, 22 years old, against a 2-time Cy Young winner, one of the best pitchers in baseball from here. He wants to represent on top of it because his family's in the crowd. So give the kid a break that he went 0 for 3 yesterday in his batting side as well. Tawa, Lawler, same type of Lawler gets the hit. Tawa gets a hit in this game as well. He's not unhittable. He just doesn't allow the runs to come. And it came down to that first inning home run as well by Corbin Carroll, of all guys, clunking that ball over the edge as well. Fantastic game yesterday. By the way, Skubal, 0.69 ERA, folks, in his 2 starts. Gave up 1 run yesterday. Has a 0.69 ERA. Gallen does get his ERA down to 3.60 after this outing as well for him. Fantastic game. Loved every second of it. Hang on your seat type of a game. 7 hits for the Tigers, 6 hits for the Diamondbacks. The Tigers have a player, though, that loves his errors. And, they got to figure that out because he's had 3 errors on the season so far. Leads Major League Baseball, obviously leads the Tigers in that situation as well for him going into this. So I enjoyed that game a ton. Now we get the Braves for 4 games, starting tonight down here at the field. Ryan Nelson on the mound tonight for the Diamondbacks. Let me look and see really. There's only three games in baseball today on Thursday around Major League Baseball. Ryan Nelson and Ronaldo Lopez battling it out in this game. Atlanta is favored in this game, by the way. 6:40 p.m. down here in downtown Phoenix. But you got Minnesota, Kansas City at 11:10 a.m. our time here in Phoenix for that. And then the nightcapper, one you might want to pay attention to if you're not watching the Suns game, 6:45 p.m., same time as the Diamondbacks game. The Yankees in San Francisco again. I'm sorry, the Mets. I believe this is the Mets battling. Let me look this up here. Mets and Giants tonight, 6:45 p.m. Tonight from San Francisco as well. The 4th game, Toronto and the White Sox. It was already been postponed. It was postponed early. I believe weather is rolling through that area, and they postponed that game but I'm not entirely sure if that's the official reason they give. So only 3 games today. Yesterday was fantastic. Now we get the Braves for 4. Diamondbacks, they were swept in the first series, swept the team in the second series to make it 3-3. That's what I was telling you guys. This Diamondbacks team is going to be ebbs and flows throughout the season. Are they good enough to compete with the Dodgers? Probably not. But they're good enough to compete with the team that everybody's expecting to win their division. They're in the Tigers. Now you got the Braves coming in. And nobody's expecting the Braves to be as bad as they were last year. Now injuries have bit them in the butt, obviously, a lot the last couple years. If the Braves can stay healthy, they're going to be there as well. You have another contending playoff team here in the Braves coming in. This first month of the season is brutal, and I like what they've done to get their record to 3-3 here for your Arizona Diamondbacks as well. We'll ask Lou what it was like at the game yesterday because I know he was there. Of course, we got NHL hockey. We're a week or so away from playoffs coming up for them. Of course, college baseball happening right now as well. And then, of course, UFC coming up as well, folks. Brutal knockout last week in the women's division. I want to ask Lou on his feelings on that because, one, she was out when she hit the ground, and then, of course, chokehold came after that. Was the ref a little slow to stop that? Ask Lou from that perspective as somebody that's watched a lot more UFC than I have. We'll talk that, look ahead to this week. So coming back, folks, second hour main event with Uncle Lou coming up next. Back here, main event, second hour, Thursdays. Means this guy joins us, our favorite Uncle Lou. Hey, Uncle Lou, looking a little see-through there.
Well, I was going to say, I wore I thought I have an aqua shirt on.
I know.
So whatever. I love the brick wall. So
aqua has a little bit of green in it, obviously, but that's what we just learned.
I screwed up. So anyway,
nobody would have noticed if you didn't point it out.
Hi, it's Thursday. I'm happy to be here. We're entering what I consider to be close to the dog days. After when we get to Monday, we'll be in the dog days. So I'm happy we're here. And I'm I got all kinds of stuff to share with you.
Yeah, let's first, just tell everybody what you do, where you're at, where they can reach you, your podcasts out there, just for people interested if they not just gambling, but just want some additional information to go into a party this weekend and you want to look smart. Give you some info here to give you some behind the scenes stuff and in-depth stuff here.
Yeah,
Uncle Lou.
Steve's being nice. Really, the net that I throw, it isn't outside of people that are going to gamble on sports. That's what I do. That's what Gamblu.com is. And so if you're looking for opinions on sports betting, you can get them here. And they're not opinions that you have to take. You can consider them, or as Aristotle says, it's the mark of an educated mind to be able to listen to a thought and yet not accept it. And so you can listen to what I have to say. I take controversial positions as much as I can, and I look at it simply from a bottom line dollars and cents aspect. Usually there's no fandom here. Anyway, Lou Finicaro's my name. I have a webpage, gamblu.com. You can find everything about me there. The gambling part is about 90% of the webpage. 10% of the webpage is about 90% of life, and that's the far right button up there, the San Xavier Del Bach Mission. And of course, here today on Holy Thursday, what an appropriate time to mention the oldest mission in the United States is located just south of Tucson here in Arizona. They do great work. They're part of my webpage, not that I'm associated in any way, but I look up to the entity and try and direct as much attention there as I can. And every dadgum week, Steve lets me come on here and tout the mission, and I really thank him for it.
Absolutely. Like I said, this day and age when everybody needs help out there, it's even more important now to point that out. And with your givings, I know in the past, if you supported Lou and invested with him, that you put a lot of that money towards
Then
that.
you
Now
were
that you don't do that,
contributor.
you go that route, and that type of a thing. So, so I appreciate you doing that, to be honest with you, and everything. And of course, we're right here in the middle of NHL hockey. Playoffs are about to start. We're a week and a half away, roughly, from the start of that. An interesting development has happened, Lou, and I have a question for you.
We're getting real close, and yes, let me try and answer the question.
Well, does the fact that the Vegas Knights fired Bruce Cassidy 9 games before the end of the season and brought in one of my favorite coaches for a short amount of time, he wears people down, and long term he's not the answer. But Tortellini.
John Tortorella.
Does that change?
Steve, are you hungry this morning?
I am. I'm going to blame the Sudafed that I'm on, folks. Is what I'm going to blame for my allergies. But they brought him in. Does that change your opinion on a playoff run for the Golden Knights?
That's a really good question.
Because I really like him as a coach.
Yeah,
for short runs. You don't want him there for 4 or 5 years. Everybody will hate his guts.
Well,
in
he's
year 3
nowhere.
and
He
stuff
never
like that.
stays anywhere that
exactly because of that reason.
Well, the interesting
but
thing
9 games, playoff run. Does that change an opinion?
Well, you mentioned that he was kind of a hard pressing, intense coach, and the team, the locker room in Las Vegas, from my resources in Vegas, feel as though they lost Cassidy because he was too intense and forward with them, and so. Usually Tortorella comes in on the heels of some guy that's a butt slapper and he's everybody's best friend. They need discipline. In this case, he's coming in, and he even complimented Cassie on the way out because he's a total pro. And he's basically, I think, acknowledging that he's just going to bring a different perspective to the locker room. So
a different
to me,
style. He's a different style coach too than Cassidy is.
Not behind the glass. They're both intense and overriding.
Oh no, from that perspective.
And so that style, I'm interested to see what happens. Yeah. But I think he's going to make it work. But really, to me, looking at Vegas now, it isn't whether Tortorella gets it done or not. It's about the players on the team, because if there was a problem in the locker room and now there isn't, and everybody's holding hands singing Kumbaya, then they're going to start playing better hockey. And so I'll wait to see that.
Cassidy completely lost out. All the rumors leading up to it was Cassidy lost the locker room. They weren't listening to him anymore. They were ignoring him.
Well, they didn't want to go to work. When you hear that,
yeah.
When you hear that makes it tough. So
that's the intriguing thing. Like you said, do the players all of a sudden go, all right, that nonsense is over, let's go play?
In order for that, if that's the case, in order for them to best speak to Cassidy, they show up for Tortorella and they win the cup and they ride off, and everybody realizes in retrospect what the problem is. If nothing changes, or if not a lot changes, then I don't know what that tells you.
No. Tells you they got the wrong players in that locker room. It
tells you that, really, it would tell me that since the inception of that team, that ownership group has been unbelievably aggressive in their moves, and it tells me they're still aggressive and hungry to win. That's what that would tell me.
That's what that told me with that that coaching move told me. And
Yes.
they're just never satisfied. You stumble and they do not have a problem making a change to try to improve the team, which is rare in sports these days. Most people hang on to coaches or players too long before they get rid of them, and the Knights aren't that way. So I think it's a nice, refreshing change from them out. They're still third in the Pacific right now. Looks like the Utah Mammoth are going to make the playoffs here. They're 82 points. The Kings back into that second wild card spot. Last week they were 3 teams out here. Now they passed San Jose Sharks and Nashville Predators. Now they're 1 point up on them. The Jets are, this is how close it is for that last playoff spot. Kraken are at 75. Well, Seattle's at 74. Kraken at 75 points. Winnipeg Jets at 76. Nashville and San Jose at 77 points. Kings are at 78. So you have 6 teams battling it out there for that final wild card spot in the West from that side. But the thing I want to bring up to you here, Colorado Avalanche 108 points in the West here. Dallas Stars 100 as well. Minnesota 94. Minnesota's kind of come back a little bit. Colorado's number, they've been the best team all preseason. You're not high on Dallas. I'm not high on Dallas for their goaltending. Come the playoff time, looking pretty good here going into the playoffs momentum-wise.
Ooh.
Dallas. They're playing well.
Well, so and as they have the last 4 years in a row, so that really doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't force me to look at them any different. They still have to play. While most people are, and I am, looking at the bottom of those standings to see which wild card teams can play good at the end and wiggle their way in there. I'm looking at the top of the standings and seeing which teams are trying still to earn first place, like in the East Division or
we're talking about them in a minute. That's a battle.
Or in the West, what they're doing, because these are 2 completely different seasons. Just because the Minnesota Wild's got a 3 next to their name in that division, don't think for a minute that they're not ripe to upset some apple carts in this conference. So I look at it from the angle of, in 2 weeks, they're going to give me pricing on teams. I'm going to be able to take a team plus 1.5 games in a 7-game series, and that adds a lot of complexity to a nice underdog that can catch a game and a half. And all they got to do is make it a 7-game series, and you're the winner automatically. Now, easier said than done, but there's a lot of ways to play this. I'm trying to prepare myself for a playoff run.
In the East, you brought it up. I mean, Buffalo Sabres have woken up. They've been playing really well. They hit the 100-point mark. But so does the Carolina Hurricanes. 100 points here. They've been on fire here lately as well. They're number 1 in the Metropolitan. 100 points for them. Sabres at 100 points. The Tampa Bay Lightning at 98 points right now. Montreal Canadiens 96 points. So that Atlantic Division's a barn burner there. Boston Bruins with their 94 points, probably going to make that first wild card spot. But then you got Columbus in that second spot right now, but Ottawa, Detroit,
And 5 teams.
Philadelphia, Capitals. Capitals and Philly are 85 points for Capitals, 86 for Flyers. Detroit, Ottawa, and Columbus for that last spot, all 3 at 88 points right now for them. We're talking again, it's like you said, pay attention to the top ones. But one thing I love about this playoff chase is 5 teams battling for basically 1 spot here in the playoffs. I think that's part of the fun of it as well.
I would also say that if those are the teams that are basically experiencing playoff hockey now, even though the rules are not playoff hockey, their temperament and their legs and the speed of the game that they're dealing with now to get in will be not much different than playoff hockey, because they're playing playoff hockey to get to the playoffs. Now, you take a nice ripe team, fat cats don't hunt team like somebody on the top of a division.
Maybe Pittsburgh I'll throw into that type of a category.
That could be ripe. I don't know. That's your position. But they're there. We got to find them. But I'm not trying to look for them 2 weeks before the playoffs. So, but I will say that I'm going to be looking at some surprises, especially as wide open as everything is. Outside of if you take Tampa and Colorado away from it, you got a wide open tournament.
Yeah, and they're very similar teams for the playoffs. This playoffs is going to be fun. And like you said, you get playoff hockey before the playoffs when you have 4 or 5 teams battling for 1 or 2 spots because they all have to perform.
Those are the games you want to be.
Those
are the games you want to be watching on TV if you want to
Exactly.
watch some, good frantic hockey. And then if it goes, if it ends in regulation, then you just turn it off because it doesn't matter what happens after that.
Well, it gets to that 3-on-3 and all of that stuff.
That's
it
Mickey
changes it.
Mouse. That's not what they
Yeah.
do in the second season, which is why it's such a different game.
Absolutely. So, then there's college baseball undergoing. We're in the middle of conference play. Just to update everybody, Arizona State's still ranked. They lost a couple there. They're still ranked at 25th spot right now, 28 record for them.
Which is outstanding.
Their question mark was pitching, and their pitching has been good. And they won a lot of games with their star player missing.
25th ranked in the country. Come on.
28 on the season right now. They're setting themselves up. They could get a regional here if they continue the way they're going. But the guys that dropped out, NC State, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Notre Dame dropped out of the rankings this time. Mainly Tennessee and Ole Miss, SEC teams,
Yeah.
which are dominant. They're dominant in the top part of this as well.
Well,
And Tennessee's one I was kind of shocked to see.
Well, they
struggling
just
this
lost
year.
Vitello, the coach, to San Fran, so
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me. Mississippi, preseason touted team.
They're really, yeah,
Maybe
they're high.
that's a little surprising. I wouldn't count them out yet. SEC teams, they can go through. I've seen Florida go through and be like 13 and 14 in the SEC and win the College World Series. Why?
Yeah.
Because they're playing SEC teams in conference play every single weekend, which is what we're about ready to get into if we're not already into that. So college baseball is great to me. How real is UCLA? Can they continue to maintain their momentum, stay in the top 10, and they've been like 1 or 2 all year long.
Yeah,
but can
they've been number 1 for like a month now.
Can they stay in the top 10 and go all the way through a regional? I will say this: if they get the home position in regionals out here in California, boy, that would really behoove them. They'll be a tough team to beat. They're very well rounded and solid, but they haven't been playing the SEC or ACC schedule every single week in and week out.
Yeah, and that's the issue with that they have. But here, I'm going to give you the top 10 here because, you focus a lot on, rightfully so, SEC baseball, ACC baseball. I'm going to give you the top 10. UCLA, Texas, Georgia Tech, Mississippi State, Georgia, North Carolina, Florida State, Southern Miss, Oregon State, and then Virginia are the top 10. A lot of ACC teams in there, not as many SEC teams.
Coastal and OSU are the only ones that bomb that, and we have OSU in the future. If you go to the Gamblu webpage, I made a note
The blog
on that. I made the note of which ones I have. UCLA 12-1, North Carolina 22-1. Are they even in the top?
North Carolina, no, they fell down
Yep.
there. Oh, North Carolina, I'm sorry, is 6.
6.
I
Oh,
was
not
thinking
too shabby. Texas right there.
Number 2.
OSU 30-1. They're there. Here's my skunks. Arkansas, who usually struggles in the SEC, 18-1,
right now, yeah.
and LSU at 10-1, which may be a miss. We'll see.
Yeah, they've been out of the top 25 for several weeks now.
Well, I'm going to
LSU,
rattle
so-
off 6 of them.
I know.
I mean, I'm bound
Well,
to.
we're only going to focus on the bad ones, Lou.
No, yeah, exactly. Anyway, college baseball, sensational. Hockey, getting right into it. And we're going to have early on in those playoffs 4 games, 2 at like 4, 2 at like 7.
That's what I love about it.
Overtime, white knuckle intensity. Teams that hate each other. They've set the playoffs up now that teams that know each other really well, like Dallas and Minnesota, now that we're going to have a 7-game series in the playoffs again. I mean, by game 3 or 4, the hockey's going to be so fantastic. It's going to be so tight, and the measure of difference in these teams so slight analytically that a lot can happen. So it's going to be a tremendous tournament. I also want to say,
Yep.
a year ago in this tournament, I think I laid, because I just gave my webpage designer all my updates, I laid about an 11-unit loss on the NHL playoffs last year. I want to disclose that because just like a fighter that lost their last fight, normally if they've got any gumption to them, they've been in the gym doing the right things to bounce back from that loss. And I'm not going to make any proclamations here, but I will disclose that I'm on the bounce, and we'll see what kind of result this year's hockey brings because I'll be sharing it here and it'll be on the webpage.
Yep, absolutely, because everything now is free on the website
Oh,
at
that's right.
gambling.com
I suppose I'm
on
gonna have
X
to-
as well. And also you can find your podcast, The Sneak Teep, and the, of course, About Business on Friday, About Business after the weigh-ins as well. And if you listened to The Sneak Teep last week, you gave a couple nuggets that ended up working out during the fight.
Yes.
And then even on About Business
And
as
this
well,
one,
so.
this past one, I made what I think might be the only release I make on the whole card. I may make one more.
For this weekend's fighting.
Yes,
as well,
this
coming up.
weekend card a little different, but we're going to get to that.
Absolutely. So, anything else you want to add? Oh, college basketball. I knew there was something I was forgetting about.
Oh, yes,
your
thank you.
Arizona Wildcats here, Final Four.
And I'm perspective from a fan, and actually I'm not a basketball fan, but I like the college basketball this time of year. And so Michigan, Arizona, I'm a U of A alum. I have no clue what's going to happen from a basketball sense. I see the line is Michigan 1.5. I got no clue there. I do know that at this juncture that I can take a step away from what I do and be a fan of my team, the U of A, and I'm going to pull for them. The last time they were at a final game of a Final Four, they played Duke in the finals in Minneapolis in 2001. I was at that game. So I will be pulling for U of A in that game, but here's my gamble on this thing, and it's this. I think that Illinois is getting completely overlooked by everyone because of the stories around them, which I think is a really good thing. And Connecticut coming in off of that win, I think that's going to be a hard effort to duplicate. We'll see. But I see Illinois being able to get to the final, and then they're going to play one of two teams that all they've heard for the whole week that they've been off is that this is the championship game. I believe that the winner of Michigan and Arizona leaves it out on the court so much on Saturday that they got nothing left for Illinois on Monday. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, Illinois at 4-1 is, I haven't made that bet yet, but that's the bet I'm going to make. I think that's how it's going to work.
Yeah, that's, you know what, you bring up a good point on that Connecticut game is how do they recover from that, just that unbelievable emotional win. I know it's a week later.
Well, the other
still.
excuse me, Steve, the other thought process is, hey, we got it going. We make that. This is destiny. That's what a lot are thinking too.
Yeah, well, exactly. But I mean, Michigan, Arizona, I've never, it's been rare I've looked so much forward to a college basketball game as much as I am this game coming up on Saturday.
Do you got any clue on what's going to happen?
No clue. I'm not going to bet it. I'm not going to do anything.
You're going to enjoy it.
I have Arizona making the final, but I didn't think Michigan would be there. But watching Michigan in this tournament, they're equally matched. They both have the length that Arizona can tend to dominate with. They have the length. They both can shoot outside. Michigan can hit more threes. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. I think, you might see Bevan flows where somebody goes up by 7, but there'll be a run afterwards. I think defense might be what wins this game for one of these teams. No clue, Lou. No clue at all what's going to happen.
And what time is it on Saturday? Is that like 4?
It is 5. I want to say 5:30, but 5:49 on Saturday.
So 10-6, the second game. Oh, rightfully so. That thing's going to. I bet that breaks some serious NCAA records. That's going to be a hugely tuned in.
I mean, even now the market has a Michigan favored 1.5.
Yeah, and that's kind of where it broke. It hasn't moved much,
Okay.
and everybody I talk to, one guy likes Michigan because they're tough under the glass.
Yeah.
The other one likes them because they can shoot threes. The other one likes Arizona because they're overly athletic. And so here's what I know.
Knows.
No one knows the dadgum thing.
Anybody that tells you they know what's going to happen in this
They're
game
full
is
of
lying to you.
full of manure. But I do see a path for Illinois to pull the rug out on this whole tournament based on my.
See, Lou, that's why we got you here, man. Because I was like, Illinois doesn't deserve to be here with these other three teams.
They're just hiding in the shadows, and that
you're
coach is
right.
an old salty dog.
I'm going to have to think about that, especially 4-1. It doesn't hurt to throw a little down
How
on
do
them
you go
for
wrong
that reason.
on that, especially if they win this game and
but-
they're favored?
I haven't even thought about the Illinois-Connecticut game. You know, we're going to talk. Me and Dale will talk about that tomorrow. But I haven't even considered that game at all, just because I'm so excited for this Michigan.
Oh,
Arizona
sure.
game.
Well, it's thrown.
It's almost like that game to me. I don't care who wins that game. Not necessarily because I think they lose the championship, just because that game is going to be overshadowed by what I think we're going to get. Now, saying that, we're going to get a 20-point
say
blowout or something.
No, I hope we don't. I want a barn burner. And
Halfway through the first quarter, we're all going.
I don't want
"Never
no one
mind."
hurt. I don't want any fights. I want a good, tough game that one team wins over another. And let's just,
I do give Michigan the edge. If you were to ask me, I do give Michigan the edge because of the 3-point shooting. Because if they get hot from three, Arizona cannot get hot from three. They haven't all year at least. They don't like to shoot threes. So if you get hot from three, you obviously score more points with 3 points than 2 points. And that could kind of be the difference toward the end of the game, if I had a guess on that. But the points in the paint, I think, are just going to be just a hard-fought battle.
you got to if you're getting threed, you got to make a bunch of twos. And the best way to do that's if it's a layup. Issue is Michigan's big and strong on the glass too, so it's going to be a.
You got to factor in too.
Who's the older team, the more experienced team?
Michigan.
Of course, that's another.
And I would also hope this doesn't happen, but it's something I'm considering. How do the refs call this game? Because if you get foul trouble on either Michigan or Arizona or both of their big guys underneath, that's going to change the perplexity of this game in ways you're not even exaggerating. You can't even think of right now.
Yes, but if you're watching the game and you're doing what the very few sharp people are doing, and that's betting it live, you can wait till Arizona gets a 6-point lead and you can catch Michigan plus 5 points and you bet that. And then you wait and then you watch them play tennis. Oh, all of a sudden Michigan's up 6 and Arizona's getting 5. Now you bet that. Now you got each team plus 5. All you're rooting for now is 3-point game, right? I mean, so there's a lot of ways to attack this thing. It's how hard do you want to work at? You want to sit at a computer with a couple of sites ready watching this game so that you can pounce at the right time? Maybe not a lot of people want to work like that.
No, I'm literally going to sit back, put my feet up, and enjoy this basketball.
I do it
game.
all football season, and so I'm going to let it go in basketball.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one that it's like nothing else matters for that time frame.
For that, what is that,
I'm
a
looking forward
2-hour
to it.
period,
Roughly
2.5
about 2.5,
hours?
3 hours, yeah.
No overtime. Don't give me no overtime. I don't need no heartache.
Yeah, I know. The people that have watched this show long enough knows my disdain for overtime anything.
In sports world, we have a saying, and it's overtime, the place underdogs go to die. Because
that's true.
your team's getting 8, you send it to overtime, they lose 16. It's like, oh my God, you want to kill somebody. I mean, it happens all the time. So just remember that saying.
I'm actually going to remember that saying there
That's
as well.
in my world, it's true as blue.
Anything else on any sport besides
No,
UFC?
hell, I'm having a ball talking about everything.
Yeah, well, let's take our break then. Come back, talk about last week's UFC card. Dare I say it?
Violence.
Best one of the year.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah,
violence.
it wasn't even close.
Well, sure.
We'll talk about that. Of course, look ahead to this week as well. Come on back with Uncle Lou here on Thursday. main event on Thursdays with Uncle Lou. I failed to ask you. Of course, day game Diamondbacks yesterday. Pitching matchup. I loved it yesterday. I couldn't get enough of that game. You were there. How was it?
For a long time, I've been a huge baseball fan, a Major League Baseball fan. If I could choose to go to a ball game, it would basically be the game that I was at yesterday, where I can see that kind of a 1-0 game. 2-1 I'll take, but 2-1, 2-0, 1-0, that's what I want. That's what I got. It was a Chamber of Commerce day with the roof open and the windows open, breeze blowing through, a decent crowd at the ball game. Probably half, if not 55% Tiger fans. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But it was-
Scooble, I think he had a whole section just for his family and friends. He's from here.
And he pitched a whale of
that,
a game. Our team, because I have the Diamondbacks to make the playoffs this year. I've announced that at the beginning of the season, so I'm all about them. And so I just want to say, good for them. Let's hope they can start good. I like them today against Atlanta. More importantly, I went with a bunch of guys from Vegas that were in town, and they are in my business, and we're talking. And when I brought up Lovello, every single one of those sons of so-and-sos completely agreed with my take that the guy is salty as he can be. And Derek Hall, who kept him when others were calling for his head, it was a genius move.
Lou, you don't have to point. Everybody knows you're talking about me.
It was a genius move. And I think this year, this coach and this team, to me, this team, again, depending what happens, and you called it a week ago with the bullpen, right now looks like they can put some runs up, so we'll see. It's too early to make any.
Yeah, I mean, and I think I told you before, I don't hate Lovello. It's just I don't know if he's the guy that could get you over the top consistently. And there's been a lot of
Thank
letdown
you,
the
because
last
he was
couple
only
years.
at the World Series 2 years
And
ago.
that's what everybody points. 3 years ago now, I want to point out. But you can't ignore the last 2 years. It's been failures of not making the playoffs when they should have. So now it comes down to the bullpen, which isn't Lovello's fault. That would be the GM not getting him the arms he needs and stuff. But I'm looking forward to this season. I do expect them to make the playoffs as well. To me, that's the bar. If they miss it, to me, that's a disappointment. And
I think that's fair.
it goes to that old saying with me, Lou, is he's been here 10 years, man. You know what you got. Okay, so
That's why
you made
don't
one
get
World-
rid of him.
You made
That's why
one
he's here
World
10
Series
years.
run, but at the same time, a lot of disappointment in that time frame as well. So can you find somebody to get you over that hump more consistently? Is kind of my angle on Torey Lovello. Their decision is no, we can't find that person.
No,
and
well,
we're
ask
stuck with them, so.
now Tampa's not a good example. Ask Florida, ask them. Ask Washington. Ask Minnesota. Ask Oakland. They've never done it.
Exactly.
We just did it 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and it ain't easy to do. Anyway, you're guarded, and you need to be. You're a fan.
Yeah.
I'm an opinion maker, and I'm sold on that aspect of the team. Now, bullpen and base stealing and GM, that's other stuff that I'll have to take into consideration as the season goes on. But I want to get to UFC as well.
I keep an open mind on that, but I ebb and flow on my feelings.
We got
on that stuff,
155 games yet to talk about.
Hey, I got 100 and whatever it is, and
58.
I've lived and die with every game, and my opinions they change,
Good.
right? So, hey, UFC last weekend from Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. Man, this was an event where if you didn't sit down for a beginning of a fight and you got distracted for a little bit, you missed a lot of these fights because they were quick, they were fast, and what I mean by that is you couldn't come in and be like, oh, I'll tune in the second round of this fight. I'll come back in the second round because they were done early here as well. I mean, it started with the prelims as well. We had a couple decisions right off the bat, and then you got to the Bruno Lopez and Navajo Sterling fight, second round KO here. My main thing on this is the loser, Bruno Lopez. Your thoughts on him after that fight against Sterling?
I mean, he was there to get knocked out.
Yeah, and it happened. Which brings me to my next thing here, but he made it to the second round, so I was wondering if you were impressed by that. Because everybody was
because
expecting
in
it
his
to happen
next
quick
fight, he'll be there to get knocked out.
again as well. So, okay. So Sterling going to the second round. didn't change your opinion on him by taking that long to do so when it was expected sooner?
Well, there was pressure on him because he hasn't made a finish in the UFC yet, and so it's hard to do. I'm going to go out and finish this guy, and the other guy is a tough, durable guy that's in the UFC. You don't get in the UFC if you're not tough, durable, and world class. So even though Bruno Lopez maybe is on the lower rungs of the UFC, the dude's a world class fighter. You don't want him.
Okay.
So Sterling. Sterling's a fade depending on if they can give him somebody that's too much of a step up. Will they do that? Maybe not. If they want to protect future shows in Australia by using him, they'll prop him up against some guy that's a good matchup for him. You have to watch that.
That's the question. I just came out of that fight, just kind of thinking, from your perspective on that, kind of wondering what that was, because to me, it was just a fight we expected, but I did see a lot of people complain that it took Sterling so long to get that done.
Those are fans that want it immediately, and
I know. Hey, what do you mean one punch and not out? What the heck's wrong with you? Hey, we had two women fight in this fight. We're gonna bring up. I got to give Casey O'Neill and Fernandez here first round KO here in this one. So I mean, there's no way to put it without sounding derogatory, and I don't mean to. But women fighters coming in and getting a knockout here in round one, it's not something we see every day.
I don't know what's controversial about that. That's numerically
That's true,
accurate.
yes,
It's
somebody's gonna have a
dogma.
problem with it.
What's more important is O'Neill had been off for a while, some pressure. She's the daughter of a mixed martial artist. She really has it in her blood, and she was in against a girl, been more active, a little more physical, and had some power in her hands. If anyone told me a week ago when we were here one was going to knock the other out, I'd say, well, maybe Fernandez catches up with her then. But O'Neill looked fast, sharp, focused, and on. She is a follow depending on who she gets next.
Okay.
And maybe so is Fernandez, who I think it took a great effort to be able to beat that girl last week. She's a good fighter.
All right, and then Tybura, the heavyweight bout, Tybura and Fortune in this fight. Fortune got the win. Now, it went to a decision for a heavyweight fight. I think people expected a little bit more violence in this fight to happen here. But Tyrell Fortune got the win.
Got the win, beat us. I had an underdog bet on Tybura. It's the way it goes. Tybura's old and done.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Because Fortune ain't that much. He's a fade moving forward. Tybura we may not see.
That was going to be my question on Tybura, because I know you liked him last week and everything going into that fight. In this, so
he
we got
was
like
so
I said,
slow. Even in the second and third round, when the other kid was tired a little bit, he couldn't do anything.
And that's what's
so
shocking
slow.
me about these heavyweights, man. It seems like a lot of these heavyweights get to that second round and they're just
It's a thin.
hugging.
It's 3.5. It's 4 men deep, really, guys. That's it.
Yeah, it's almost like frustrating if there's not something happening really quick, because then it's they're just going to hug
high
each other
school
against the
slow
wall.
dance, baby. Slow
Let
dance at
me
the
move to
prom.
the main one here, the main fight, because we could talk all along. Kyle Nelson knocked out 24 seconds into this fight, first fight of the main event. Terrence McKinney in this lightweight bout. Your thoughts on Terrence McKinney with this quick work that he had?
Yeah, I think Kyle Nelson was covering up, and even though he covered up too long of a time, he wasn't knocked out or injured. And you could see him telling his corner that afterwards, hey, I was just covering up. The guy was losing his mind. But the whole foundation for Nelson was to take the fight deep. But he can't be an idiot about it and force the ref to step in.
Yeah.
The ref stepped in, probably appropriately so. That's the end of the fight. Nelson, you're an idiot. You go to the end of the line. McKinney, you move on to be the UFC darling that they know that they can put on the first fight of a main card, and they're going to get something happening.
Yeah, that's my question on this fight is the ref, because there was a couple of times here as a novice to UFC, I look at the refs and I go, what took you so long to get in there? Or I go, why are you in there so fast? And this one I was kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this one, because Nelson wasn't hurt, he wasn't injured, but he wasn't also defending himself.
Yeah.
So I can understand him stepping in there. I get that, but we'll talk about the rest here obviously coming up when we get to the other women's fight here as well. Look, then the main event was a third-round knockout, a first-round knockout here with Douglas, Nico Price, and
I had Erosa plus the points. figuring he's at home, he's going to
against
really show
Douglas?
up in front of his people, and that Douglas just folded him up. He was knocking him on his ass with jabs. I knew it was like me sitting in a little saucer in a big, huge boiling pot of water, knowing that eventually I was going to tip over.
Yeah, when jabs are knocking guys down, you got to be
Lord.
worried, right?
Oh,
Because,
Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord.
then we had another first round submission here. Nico
Price and Chiesa, and
Yeah,
that
lost
was,
that fight.
No, I didn't make a bet on that fight, thankfully.
Oh, really? Okay.
Chiesa
Even with the
subbed him in
wrestling?
one. I would have loved to have maybe thought about Price. I think he was the only way to go. I think I even tweeted something out, didn't I?
You did. Yeah, you did. Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it said, but you did going into that fight because I saw it
A ham
after the fight
sandwich or a
started.
piece of pizza or something like that. Yeah.
Then the fight I really want to talk to you about is the Alexa Grasso, Macy Barber fight here.
Yeah.
If you didn't see it, it was everywhere on the internet, obviously.
Oh, it was brutal.
From that most brutal, I've seen some brutal knockouts in my day. This was an unbelievably
This
brutal
was a
one.
knockout and a submission.
Yeah, and one. So how did they officially rule that? I know
A knockout.
So it was a knockout. So if you had submission,
you
would lose that bet on that point. So my question on this is around the referee on this one. Now, I'm not saying the referee did anything wrong, but she was out before she hit the ground, I felt. And then the submission side came. The ref got in there as quick as he could, even if it was a little bit delayed. There's nothing that can really be done about that with just how fast that whole thing went down. Is there?
In the mixed martial arts world, the ref, whose name's escaping me right now, is being hailed because he did such a fantastic job. No ref other than him would have been in there as fast as he was.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so he's getting roses thrown at his feet, and I'm one of them. The only thing more astonishing than how fast he was in to have Grasso let go of the choke was how fast Grasso put the choke on her. That was subhuman. And him getting there to pull it off as fast as he did.
He was across the ring
superstar move.
Yeah, he wasn't right next to her. He was 5 feet away and had to get there.
He did a superstar.
And that's stuff that I don't understand watching it. And just the way it looked like he was late. But like I said, I'm not bashing him at all. I just had that question.
Any other ref wouldn't have been as on top of it, and she could have been really hurt if you're cutting hair off to a gal who's out of it.
Already
like
out. The way he took care of her also, where she was grabbing his legs.
Immediately.
And then he laid her down.
He took her head and cradled her down. Immediately. Dadgummit, well, his name's at the tip of my tongue.
Oh, yeah, I wish
we'll
I
get
had
it as we discuss.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. But, it was an unbelievable KO in this fight. And that's
Grasso. If you saw the
so
punch,
fast.
It was fast, straight, and all her body was behind it.
Yeah.
Just a straight shot right on the freaking money. And just they teach refs what to look for when a person's knocked out. One is going straight back like a tree. One is dropping straight on your rear, just straight, and that's exactly how she dropped.
Yes.
She was out on their way down.
And what made it look even more brutal was her eyes were just open the whole time.
Laying on the ground.
Yeah, and so normally the eyes will shut in that position, and so you're just laying there with their eyes wide open and all of that stuff. I mean, you got to give the credit. It's brutal. It's very scary. I can understand the people that are, freaking out of the brutality of it. But unbelievable fight if you want to look at it from that, from that perspective.
No
which is
one
what we're
viewing
the
UFC. Few viewing the UFC are up in arms about that.
Okay.
The few that are up in arms about it just saw the highlights. People watching the UFC are watching the UFC not to watch Goldilocks trickle down the lane to the red wolf. They're looking for violence and bloodshed. And that's what they want to see. They're tuning in exactly for that.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people call that the women's fight and the biggest history fight of and I haven't been around long enough to know if there's a better
Dana White's
women's
calling
fight.
it an epic knockout, and if he calls it that, it is. And I believe it was.
Yeah.
And Grasso earns herself probably another shot right to Valentina with that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, she gets propelled.
One win, and a tie. So they might as well break that up.
Especially now, well, for sure they'll probably want to do that. But with Grasso now, the way that fight ended, I mean, you want to hype that up. If you're from a marketing perspective, you want to hype that up that this brutality is coming for this next person now coming up, right?
That's why she made $100,000 for that. So now she makes $100,000 and now they want to use her again, and she's going to go out and try and do the same thing again.
Yeah.
She got no damage from that fight. She's ready to go.
And that's the thing. Macy Barber, for her loss there, I don't think she gets viewed negatively from this fight at all.
She's had a history of weight misses and mental breakdowns before fights, and so she needs some time off, and we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, perfect. And then I was a little worried about the main event, Lou, just because after watching that, I was like, oh, this Pfeiffer and Isaiah fight here coming up. I kind of went on the side of Pfeiffer's probably going to win this fight. A lot of people thought that going into it. I've seen Pfeiffer fight before, but to me, this was a masterclass. Second round of KO for him in this fight as well. The love afterwards between these two fighters, though,
The
I
respect,
get it.
yeah.
And the respect. I mean, the loser in this fight was like, give this guy all the props. He just beat me tonight after getting just knocked the crap out of him. The love he was giving him was amazing.
Yeah, Izzy's a total professional. He's 36, 37, and now he knows. He didn't know before.
Is it over?
Now he knows that his championship aspirations are over. Annex on the Twitter saying he has another fight in him. Okay, great. Gatekeeper fight. Why should he? He should go. And really what finally pulled us to betting Pfeiffer was the fact that we were seeing these specials on Izzy about doing his record rubbing, and he's a DJ and everything. Listen, he was the champ. He was at the top of the world. He's gone from nothing to silk sheets and private jets. He's living the good life. He's spinning records. He has himself set up for post-fighting. Oh, wait, now he wants to come back and fight some young hammer that looks just like the four guys that just knocked Adesanya out. Doesn't make sense. It took me all week to get to Pfeiffer, but I did finally get to him, and I have to footnote my friend John Crouch at the lab for giving me advice.
Giving you that look out there. Pfeiffer impressed you in this fight for his next one?
Well, he's projected up and gets bigger fights now. Let's see who he fights.
So it'll just depend on the matchup coming up. I liked his style. I liked what he did there as well in that fight. So this week we got the Meta Apex this weekend in Las Vegas. We've seen the Meta fights kind of step up in terms of their fight quality. What I mean by that, folks, is I recognize some of the fighters on this fight. And usually in the past Apex fights, I just go, I don't know any of these people. So I do like that aspect of it coming at this weekend. But in terms of the prelim fights here, of course, 5 p.m. our time here in Phoenix, Las Vegas, East Coast, is when the main card starts here. I'll leave it to you to tell us on the prelims of what fights we should be looking at here in the prelims, because that is one area where I don't recognize any of these fighters.
The UFC does an unbelievable job of putting together 42 to 46 fight cards every year out of 52 weeks. And so they basically, with their grit, throw 12 to 14 fights together that many times a year, and it allows me to work. So I'm never critical of their cards, but I will say that this card is the most obscurely populated fight card I've ever worked in the 20 plus years that I've worked the UFC.
Yeah.
I'm saying obscurely populated, meaning that not everybody's going to know all these names. And I'll even say there's a few of them here that I haven't seen fight a lot. And for that reason, those are fights I watch and make notes on my model with, so I can go back and decide, oh, this guy was too big, he was too small, he did a great job, he's a wrestler, whatever the notes are. And so this card is very, very challenging. The good news is I'm the sniper. And so if I have to make 5 to 8 sniper shots on 13 fights, I'm prepared to do it. But if I only have 1 or 2, then that's okay as well, because I get to choose. This is a fight card that I've made one release already on, and that's on the Sneak Teat podcast. And it may be the only release I make all week, although I may be interested in the main event. We'll have to see. So with that in mind, to answer your question on the undercard, What I'd like to pick out is there's a 185-pound fight between Tresean Gore and a Russian named Bekov. Bekov comes in a huge favorite. He's coming in off a loss. He trains at a world-class gym in Florida, AT&T, and he's the more well-rounded fighter, no question about it. Trayshawn Gore won the Ultimate Fighter. He fights now here out of Phoenix in the MMA lab. He gets good training. He's a good kid. I've fisted him on numerous occasions and spoken one way with him, meaning I don't let them talk to me. I just say stuff and walk by. He's a good kid, easy to root for, and I want to like him in this fight. But it's an under 1.5. We got to watch that.
Yep.
Gore has struggled against legit UFC competition and above, and legit competition and below he does well in. We're about to find out which one Bekov is. So
really quick, you said it's on the under, because I have on DraftKings I have over 1.5 minus 188. Right now.
No, but it's lined 1.5.
Okay,
So
yeah,
thank you.
okay.
Yeah, that's a good correction. So it's a 1.5 over under, and if it's lined over, I tend to agree with it because that guy ain't getting Gore out of there that quickly. Gore's in shape. He's been training with Cannonier. I really want to like him, and at his price, it'll be hard for me not to have a quarter unit on him to somebody else in a parlay where I can win a unit or a unit and a half at a minimal outlay. That's how I like to play it.
He's a 455 dog right now.
Yeah,
Gore
so you
is going
parlay
into this,
him
so.
with a guy like that's a minus 200, you're going to get 3.5, 4 to 1. That's what you do, and you turn your $25 into a honey.
Okay, and that's a middleweight. Both those guys look like big boys, man,
Big,
for being a
strong
middleweight,
boys.
yeah.
We're about to find out a lot. Anyway, the rest of those fights, I mean, here, Venata Flowers. Venata we haven't seen since April of 2022. Where the heck's he been? Oh, he's 30. He's 35, by the way. So, what kind of – and we're getting him against a guy named Flowers who hasn't been particularly active as well. So then you got Alejandro Costa against Nikolai. Nikolai from Australia is just there to get KO'd, and Costa is going to do that to him. He's going to dominate this fight. So those undercard fights are I'll be watching them and making notes. I'll say it like that.
Yeah, that Costa one there, over-under's 2.5, minus 130 to the under at 2.5. So they're not expecting it to end in the first 20 seconds, but they're expecting a quick end there for Costa there. Then you got the main card, and I'm not going to lie to you, Lou, until you get to the co-main event and the main event, I'm pretty much at a loss here, except for I have seen Brenson Ribeiro before. I've seen him fight before. So start at the bottom and tell us anything to pay attention to between the first, 3 or 4 fights here in the main card.
Yeah, brutal. Guilherme Pat, a Brazilian coming in. He's 1-0, and the UFC's got power. He's against Tom Peterson, and Peterson is giving Guilherme Pat 6'6", chiseled out of marble, 81-inch reach, got power. He looks the part, no UFC experience. Meanwhile, Tom Peterson looks like your plumber. He comes in with his pants halfway down the back of his rear. 265 pounds, 6'1", doesn't look fast, athletic, or powerful, but he's all three. And he also happens to be, 4-3 in the UFC. So he's got good experience. He's been in with better than has Pat. So can the small plumber deal with the large chisel guy? I don't know enough about Pat to be able to make a determination, except that Peterson was a 130 favorite when they opened. Now Pat is minus 110 or minus 120.
So Peterson's minus 118, Pat is minus 102.
Okay, so they're still hanging on Peterson a little bit. I believe that to be an accurate depiction of nobody knowing, but Peterson must be the favorite here because of that experience, in my opinion. And the fact he opened 130 and now he's only minus 118, that could be interesting. But I do think Peterson has advantage here because of who he's been in with and his UFC experience.
Yeah, a heavyweight bout, by the way, for you at home. But over-under's 2.5. Both of them are minus 115.
Yeah,
over and under.
Yeah, so they don't know any more than I do.
They're going, and so I don't know, Lou. Tell us if there's anything else we should look to before we get to the Ribeiro fight, the Ricci fight, and the Duncan fight. Yeah.
Estevan's a grappler. Ewing's a striker.
Okay.
Ribeiro and Yakayev. Brenson Ribeiro is. I'm surprised he's still in the UFC. He's not very good. He's wild. He gets KO'd, and he's in against just a 25-year-old Russian maniac. Minus 1,700.
1650.
And under 1.5 minus like 300.
520, Lou. 520.
That's
why I said that one. I just only because I recognize Ribeiro is the only reason I brought that fight up, because the odds obviously.
The only question is it KO or sub that Yakev gets him in. Anyway, so then you go to co-main event, and you got a good fight here, even though it's ladies 115ers. Tabitha Ricci and Verna Jandiroba. This should be a very interesting fight. I find Ricci, surely she's 6 years younger at 31. She's a beautiful young gal, but she's short and squat and fights where she has to kind of get inside, especially to strike. Most of the girls in her division are larger than her. She probably should be fighting at 105, but the UFC doesn't have a 105 division. But she's a tiger, and she's tenacious and aggressive in her fights, and it only allows her, when she wins, to mostly decision these gals. And she hasn't been in against world-class elite members of her division yet. This is her first foray into that. And Jandiroba, as beautiful and cute as Ricci is, I'd love to introduce her to my son to date him. That's how pretty she is. Jandiroba could scare a bulldog off a meat wagon, unfortunately. She is not blessed with beauty. And I believe when you get handsome man against an unhandsome man, and one guy doesn't have a mark on his face, the other guy has a bunch of marks on his face, you could say, oh, well, the handsome guy's going to have an easy time. No, the guy with the marks on his face has been through war. He's coming for war. The pretty guy going to get cut up here. And that's what happens when pretty and ugly get together. I don't want to say that. That's when attractive and not so attractive get together. I think there's a chip on Jandiroba, despite the fact that she is coming off a championship loss. She fought Mackenzie Dern for the championship in her last fight. Took some time off. She's the older gal. She's the bigger, taller gal. She's going to be the heavier gal. I think she's going to be the gal with advantage on the bounce, coming in off a loss with the world-class experience. I think she holds advantage. She opened minus 190, and now she's what?
Minus 130.
Yeah, and when I released her early in the week on the sneak teep, she was plus 100 or minus 105 maybe, like that. So it's coming back a little bit towards her, and I think that's where it should be. I think she's earned the favorite position in this fight. And in a close, tight decision kind of a fight, I think it'll be determined by Jandiroba's size and her grappling, and that's how we'll get to a Jandiroba decision.
Over-unders, I love when the numbers get big on the over. Over 2.5, minus 445.
So which gal's winning the decision? Yeah. That's one of my favorite bets, and now they've caught up to me, but that's when you take fight goes to majority or split decision, because you know they're close competitors. It's going to decision. They're telling you that on the total. You might as well try and get a price on some judge having his head in his rear, because all three of them usually do.
Then we got the main event here. Chris Duncan coming off of a win for him, and if I remember correctly, kind of an improbable win as well. If I could be wrong on that, but I do remember being impressed with his last fight in the main card here against Moicano. I'm going to say that way, from Brazil. Here, a lightweight bout to finish this fight here coming up.
Yeah, Money Moicano reinvented himself personality-wise, started a podcast, hit lightning in a bottle, created a bunch of hype, won a few fights in a row, and ended up getting a championship spot against Makhachev. And he did it all by himself because he was one of the first UFC people to understand the Ronda Rousey principle of it doesn't matter how you fight, it matters how you talk and who you can bring and put in seats. And Money Moicano, the personality he came up with is colorful and fun. And while he was winning, he just moved straight up the ranks until Makhachev wiped the floor with him. And then in the fight afterwards, an old Beneil Dariush beat him. And so we're wondering about whether Moicano still has it or not. I question whether he does at 36 years old, fighting out of Florida's AT&T. And who's he fighting? Chris Duncan, a Scottish fighter, brawler, well-rounded, big power in his hands, decent grappler, and he fights from Florida's AT&T. So these guys have trained together, sat in the steam room together. They know one another. In one, I think not the last fight for Duncan, but 2 fights ago, or the last fight, he fought a guy named Rebecki from Poland, also from AT&T, fought a guy in his gym. And these 2 dudes stood toe-to-toe and beat the bloody brakes out of each other. Both of them all busted up and bleeding and stitched up. And so I expect this kind of a fight, except for Moicano can't get in a stand-up war with Duncan because he doesn't have the power or the grit. He needs to try and lure Duncan, if he can, to be wild and come in so that Moicano can get a hold of him and try and grapple him, trip him, get him to the floor where the world and the advantage on the floor will be Moicano's. And so where this fight takes place will go a long way in determining how it's set. Moicano opened like a -220 favorite. Now he's plus
145.
Now 145. So the money like come all the way in on Duncan. And so both of these guys train in Florida. And they train in the same gym, and the line comes out and it moves aggressively to Duncan immediately. I almost wonder if somebody in Florida knows too much, meaning the people in the gym have watched what's happened here and know what's going to happen. To me, I definitely think that if it stays standing, Duncan's going to hurt Moicano, and Moicano's last 2 showings haven't been great, and he's not a strong physical striker at all. He's more like a kind of a soft, squirrely submission artist. So he could find trouble against Duncan if he can't wrap him up. And so I tend to lean to Duncan here.
Well, here's the other side of it. What you just made, the point you just made, over under on this is 2.5. Under 2.5's -140 as well. I don't know what that line opened at. But I'm assuming there's going to be a big movement in that line as well at the favorite.
It opened 2.5 over -160.
Yeah, so that tells me, yeah, I agree with you. There's people in the know.
Something they think
seeing
that
something.
Yeah, because that line move on the total tells me that Duncan's going to touch him.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
I
too,
mean,
with
the
that
other
big
way
of
to
a
look
movement.
at it, when they're dry, Moicano gets a hold of him. Now, Duncan has been subbed, and he was subbed by Miguel Torres in a fight, and Torres is a big, strong striker. He's a very good submission artist, but he got him early. So there's a compelling story to this.
Well,
fight.
that's why I wanted to ask you. I mean, Duncan, if I remember correctly, can also wrestle a little bit. He his last fight, by the way, was Terrence McKinney, and he submissioned him 230 into the first round in that fight. Then, like you said, the one before was the brutal toe-to-toe fighting type fight. So Chris Duncan, at least what I'm seeing, he can get down on the mat with you, and he can also sit there and strike with you in this fight.
Yeah, but Terrence McKinney is not Renato Moicano.
Okay, so there's a because we just saw McKinney fight. So.
Difference. He doesn't want to be on the ground with Moicano. If he finds himself there, he'll use his wrestling to get the hell out of there.
Okay. Well, because I only bring that up is because we just saw McKinney recently as well.
No, yeah, McKinney either wins in the first round with his power and explosivity, or he loses because he runs out of juice.
So, Duncan, that big line movement's there on that fight coming up as well. Lou, anything else on the UFC side you want to throw in there? I saw we added a fight in UFC. Whatever UFC numbered events coming up, we added
a fight this week. There's a new fight that I should Kai.
Yeah, that pictures are all messed up here.
Kai Kamaka, I want to say, is a Hawaiian fighter that was in the UFC, left and came back, and they're giving him some debut. Or Kai's going to win that fight.
Yeah, Dakota Hope. Those you
is
can
there
always
a
tell.
line on that?
Let me see if there is now, because like you said, that was added. I can always tell by the pictures when things are added.
I mean, Kai's going to be minus 280.
It's going to be that. So they're just bringing him in. There's only money line on this, minus 148 for Kai right now. Dakota's plus 124.
So Dakota's hyped. Okay. Well, I lean to the guy coming back to the UFC.
Dakota, you said it's his first UFC fight. Is he coming off?
Yeah, he's like 10-1. He's a young kid coming up, but
So
obviously he's got the goods if they're letting him in, or at least fringe goods.
Giving him the first fight of the night, it looks like, as well. So lightweight bout for that as well. So Then Lou, appreciate you always coming in and everything. Just to give everybody a preview, after this weekend, we've got Miami, Florida coming up next weekend as well. Oberg
That's a numbered
and
event.
Prochaska, 327.
That's Olberg from Australia and Prochaska, the
That's a light heavyweight
warrior
main
from.
event.
He's from
Chechnya or something like that. isn't he?
Czechoslovakia.
Something
Or
like that. Yeah,
something.
he's the one that
He's a
always had the
goofball.
ponytail, right? That
He's
guy?
a nutball.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
nutball.
I recognize his picture, but he doesn't have his little whatever you call those man
Yeah.
buns or what. But Joshua Van's in this fight coming up also.
Joshua Van's fighting a guy named Tyra, and Joshua Van, the champ, is an underdog in the fight.
Remind me on this, Curtis Blades. Is he from Phoenix or am I confusing
No,
him?
he
But
fights
he's a big
out
guy.
of Denver.
Okay, but he's a heavyweight guy that we've seen fight a lot.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's Hokit.
Wrestling base.
And that's what I was kind of wondering.
And they
if he
gave
was
him
the
who?
deal. Hokit. Josh Hokit.
Hokit, knockout artist, and Blades is chinny. So
Yeah.
Hokit by knockout or Blades by submission because
Yeah.
Blades is big, strong, and a world-class wrestler.
We got Patricio Pitbull back in this one here as well against Aaron Pico. Just get everybody. Gamrot is back in this one.
Who's
Like
he
I said, these
fighting?
are all guys. Which one? Gamrot?
Yeah.
Robovics?
Ribovics. Oh,
Ribovics,
wow, what a fight
Argentina?
that'll be.
A
That's
lightweight
that's
fight?
a grappler against a striker. That'll be great. A
Really?
Polish fighter against a guy from like Uruguay or something. Oh, that'll be.
I know you make fun of me a lot for this, but I love her name. Lupe Godinez here.
Lupe Godinez.
Godinez, the women's strawweight.
Who's she got?
She's got Tatiana Suarez.
Oh, that'll
here.
be a good fight. But
Will it?
Tatiana Suarez towers over her. They're both wrestling-based fighters. That's a handful for Lupe.
Really? Okay, yeah. Because I know I always bring up Lupe because I love her name. There's a couple of female
We're
fighters I
in,
love
we're
their
in the
names, so.
heart of Azteca down here.
Yeah,
so
well,
those
yeah,
names
Mexican
are,
fighters.
Those
well,
names are
yeah.
common here.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are just some previews for the UFC fight next week. For those of you that look at this card like I do and go, who? I'll still have it on though. I'm not going to be watching the U of A game, but I'll still have it on this weekend and see what we find this weekend. But Lou, as always, appreciate you joining us. Good luck to your Wildcats on Saturday night, man. I'm rooting for them.
Go Cats.
I'm not too sure, but I'm still rooting for them. Everybody else, McCollum on Business is off tomorrow because of the Good Friday holiday. But the main event will be here 8 to 10 a.m. Pit Stop will be posted here by 2 o'clock here today for you racing fans as well. Kind of a limited weekend coming up with the Easter holiday as well in the racing circles. But join us there at the Pit Stop. For everybody else, we'll see you later. Have a great Thursday night, everybody.